So the Run It Back program just dropped today in MLB The Show 21. It's a new program they added with a bunch of sick players, including 99 Jared Kelenic and 97 milestone Fernando Valenzuela. This program is separate from the Conquest maps and the Showdowns, but they all kind of link to each other. What we're going to do today is go over how you can complete all of these things, complete the individual program, and get Valenzuela, Carpenter, and Kelenic, and do all of these things in the most efficient way as possible. Let's get into it. Alright, so when you go into MLB The Show Diamond Dynasty, you go into player programs under Run It Back. Obviously, you see this entire program. Just to go through all of the cards, first let's go through the pack. You get this pack from completing the Showdown and the Conquest, along with a couple free ones in the program. So ideally, you want to get all of these players if you can. First, we have 99 overall SIG Series Don Mattingly. I mean, for a first baseman, not the best, but he's a slappy type. Diamond defense is fun. You could definitely do well with him, but, you know, as a first baseman, I don't think he's going to be the best. He'll likely be more useful as a corner outfielder type, like that Tony Gwynn card. But he actually has a little bit more pop, which is nice. Edwin Encarnacion is second half hero card. This card is going to be a fun Battle Royale card, but I think that's going to be about it. This man is horrendously slow. The contact versus lefty is really low. That's really not great, and I wouldn't really advise using that in ranked seasons too much, playing on Hall of Fame or Legend difficulty. All-Star difficulty, you could probably get away with it. Then the Future Stars, Keibert Ruiz. Honestly looks like a solid hitting catcher, but I think Adley Rutschman is still that guy of these Future Stars switch hitting catchers. But some people just love Keibert Ruiz. This card is definitely fun and definitely a very viable catcher. Then we have the Future Stars Nolan Gorman, who looks like a really legit second base option. Gold fielding, good arm strength, the high power versus both sides. This card looks very nice. He used to be a third baseman last year. People loved him a lot. But him being a second baseman this year, very big deal. Big power option second base. Maybe you don't like Jazz. Maybe you don't like Mookie. Looking for a fun second baseman, Gorman looks nice. Next we have Tariq SKUBAL, and not gonna lie, I'm a little underwhelmed. I had heard from people that he apparently throws a cutter IRL, and he throws a sinker. I don't know how true that is. So the pitch mix, I mean, not really the best. The 4-seam, 2-seam are a little bit faster than the break and stuff, which is solid, and the speed differentials are great. But, you know, 97 hits per 9 is on the lower end of the spectrum, and plus not the ideal pitch mix. He's not going to be anyone super crazy, I would think. Next, we have your award series Jason Hayward. No more than a bench bat versus righties and more of a theme team player. Andrelton Simmons here is a great defender, but again, it's like not great hitting, to be expected on these cards. 93 Houston Street, he could be a viable reliever with that pitch mix. And you know, the hits per 9 is good enough. Ideally, you want more for your bullpen guys, but again, another theme team type player. 91 second half Luis Severino. Basic pitch mix, I mean, I don't even know if he fits on the all-time Yankee squad, but he does indeed exist. 91 prime Steve Cishek. The quirkiness of his release is going to make him viable. The pitch mix actually is pretty solid, I would say. He's got that sinker, splitter, slider combo. Definitely could use him in Battle Royale as a nice reliever. And then 90 overall second half hero, Eugenio SUAREZ. Kind of like a mini version of the Edwin Encarnacion, except the contact versus right's a little lower. This card is going to be a BR demon. Then, when you get to the back end of the program, you have 97 Fernando Valenzuela. You look at the attributes, and they definitely aren't the best ever. I mean, 115 hits per 9 is actually very good. The pitch mix is, I'm pretty sure, similar to his other card. A lot of breaking balls, and with that high level of control, he's going to hit a lot of spots, hit a lot of corners. And that break, oh man. If you guys know how annoying the first Valenzuela was, this one could definitely be a pest. Then we have 99 Matt Carpenter, and honestly, I think we have another S-tier second baseman here. Definitely up to the levels of a Mookie Betts type second base card. Yeah, you could take a little bit away from the defense, have that silver fielding out there, but the hitting is unreal. Power versus both sides. Definitely a very nice second base option. You can play him at first as well, and he'll be very nice. I personally think he's better off in that second base spot, just because of how weak that position is overall. You get more use out of him there. But this card is definitely very nice. And then finally, to top it off, 99 Future Stars Jared Kelenic, 89 fielding, very well-rounded card. This is a definition of a well-rounded card. Better versus righties, solid versus lefties. I love Cody Bellinger. I've been using him for a bit. But this Kelenic card may drive him out of the lineup just because he's well-rounded versus both sides. He's still got unreal hitting attributes versus righties. Should be a nice, well-rounded outfielder option for you. So now that we went through all the cards, let's go through the program very quickly and how you get points. First, you have the missions. You have 4 separate missions you could repeat. So with the run it back players, any player you earn in the program, like these 3, or any player earned in this run it back pack, you can complete these missions for online, offline, whichever mode you play. Next, you have your showdown. Keep in mind, you can't do the missions in the showdown. You're going to draft these players, but you can't complete the missions in showdown. So looking at the showdown, first of all, you get a pack every time you complete it, which is nice. And then you have just 4 rounds. So this really shouldn't be too much time. You're going to draft a bunch of the players from the pack and probably just a bunch of other players that, you know, are different tiers like gold and silver and all that stuff, like your normal showdowns. So it shouldn't be too hard. You're going to face the run it back pitchers, and Fernando Valenzuela is going to be the final boss. And you look at the run it back pitchers, the main pitchers that you would really be concerned about is Valenzuela in the final, and potentially Tariq SKUBAL. 97 overall lefty could be a little bit of a pest. If you were me, I would probably focus on drafting righties if you can. The righty pitchers you face, like Houston Street, Luis Severino, Steve Cishek, are definitely not going to be too hard to hit in my eyes. That's for sure. And you want to at least focus on that final showdown. So I'll try to draft righty hitters, or at least hitters that are good versus lefties. Shouldn't be much of an issue in my eyes, especially since you have guys like Edwin and this Eugenio Suarez who are just going to mash versus lefties. So definitely shouldn't be too hard in my eyes. And then for the Conquest, it's your typical Conquest map. Nothing too crazy. You only have 4 games of play, which really isn't bad. You complete the map fully every time. You get a run it back pack out of it. And then as you do the individual goals, these can only be completed once for these individual packs. But as you complete the map over and over again, you can keep on building up the run it back pack, which is the point of run it back. Gives you something repeatable to do. Complete the same Conquest map, complete the same showdown, and you can keep doing this stuff over and over and over again and get those free packs, which is nice. So one thing, you're going to definitely want to pick up all these players if you're going for the Mookie Betts collection, Clayton Kershaw, or even if you have them done. I would get all these players if possible, especially all these second half hero cards that gives me a good feeling they're going to include a lot of players that you need for second half heroes for the upcoming collection whenever that likely comes out. So make sure you pick up all of these players at some point, whether you earn them for free or in the program. And the beauty of the program is you can complete it in any way you want. There's no set method. You know, you could do 2 conquests and 2 showdowns. That'll get it entirely done for you. You could do 1 conquest, 4 showdowns, and then 1 mission while you're doing the conquest. That may be the fastest way to do it. Then you have your 1 conquest or 1 showdown that you do, and maybe try to complete even more missions in the conquest, or if you can't finish it in the 1 conquest map, do it in play versus CPU. There are varying different options depending on the type of player you are. Obviously, if you want more packs, do the conquest and the showdowns, but everyone is different. Not everyone wants to get a bajillion of these players. They're already very cheap right now. Do with it as you will. If you're building up the sub count, it's a good repeatable thing. And when you get the pack, you don't get to choose every single person. I think you get to choose 5 of them, so you're not guaranteed any of these dudes on the left. The players are definitely good, but I don't know how much people are going to really want them. But that's going to be it for this video. I know this is short, very brief. Have fun completing the run it back program. Definitely let me know in the comments section if there are any other tips and things that you learned from doing the showdown or the conquest that makes life easier for you. But that is going to be it. Hope you guys enjoyed this little summary of the run it back program. Back at it again this weekend with more videos. Have a great rest of your day. See you again next one. Deuces.